Dambala guutule gite tokole nageni gale mona guutu akala fa naganu guutu nageni ole gal khaguru yu khayege fache soresa dur gal maisa tege gal gana kurmangal tisa naga yangul gal war borboro da guracha udu boran khena chufti naga kusi naga yole kuchi naga gada mudin taroba naga yat gada taguyo naga yat olla guyo naga yat nageni khen dulachiduri unale sikaje.
The countries of the Horn of Africa contain over half of Africa's livestock, underpinning the livelihoods of some 60 million people. Nowhere in the world do so many depend so heavily on their animals, nor in so many ways. For wealthier people, wealth is often expressed in terms of the livestock they own. Livestock provide them the opportunity to make a good living selling produce in the local market or exporting their animals to the Arab Peninsula. But selling animals or keeping specialized breeds to produce meat or milk, this tends to be the domain of better-off people, and particularly of men. Although Tadele Mezgebe now does well for himself selling meat and milk, this was not always the case. For many years, while still struggling to develop his business, the last thing he would do would be to sell his animals. Quite the opposite. He needed to hang on to them and build up his herd. Only by accumulating, rather than selling, could he hope to become a businessman. To the people of East Africa, livestock is not simply something to be sold. It is far more than that. It is a means of saving and accumulating wealth. It is both an insurance policy and a means of transport. It provides labour, food and fuel. Deeply embedded in the cultures of the region's peoples, not a deal is done nor a wedding celebrated without livestock changing hands. Seen by many outsiders as a waste of time and money, exchanging livestock in this way forges social bonds, providing the resilience through which communities survive and thrive in some of the world's harshest environments. In so many ways, livestock is life, valuable to all, but absolutely indispensable to the poor and to women. In contrast to better-off men who are well placed to sell surplus animals in the market, women and poor men both use their livestock for different purposes. Although they keep livestock, women may not make decisions about what or when to sell. In contrast to men who are more inclined to look to the market, women will usually manage their animals first and foremost to ensure the family is well fed. Women will often keep smaller stock, sheep, goats, poultry, whereas the men will look after the cattle and camels. When women are left to manage livestock alone, either because they are widowed or because men are often forced to leave in the face of drought, they may be forced to take on the work of men as well as their usual duties, or options may simply be closed off to them. Although this can be enough to tip them into poverty, many will successfully use livestock to maintain their livelihoods. If successful, they will grow their herd, selling only when there is a need, and resisting the temptation to sell at other times, even if the market is good. Governments in the region have been very successful at improving the market and increasing the price that farmers will get for their animals. Many farmers benefit from these, but not the poorer ones who are trying to avoid having to sell, and not the women who do not make decisions concerning the market. Indeed, improved commercialization has frequently resulted in women losing the ability to make decisions about the livestock they traditionally keep to feed the family, as it is the men who take them to sell. Working through the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, the region's governments have been looking again at their livestock policies. They are seeing their traditional focus on production, marketing and exports has brought benefits to many, but not to poorer men and women to whom livestock performs even more valuable functions than generating income. They are starting to look at policies to maintain the health of the small stock that women keep. They see the need for technologies that relieve women's intense workload, freeing them to make the most of their livestock. They are committed to prioritizing those diseases that are most damaging in preventing the poor from building their herd, and those that hamper women in their attempts to use livestock to feed their families. They're starting to develop policies that respond to the livelihood needs of the poor and of women. They are building on the growing realization that good livestock development that capitalizes on livestock's unrivaled capacity for pulling women and men out of poverty, is not just about livestock. Good livestock development is about people.
Ayo kunurang kajang gedar. Ayo kunurang kajang gedar. Nai dadar raya yor ko yang ko lon jadi dan tumo. Dawa ye yo. Dawa ye yo nguju ye yo nanyor. Kita jangan derre gua hang nguju ye yo nanyor. Kita jangan derre gua hang nguju ye yo nanyor. Aragang nguju ye yan ko dang ko rom ni karag maroro se ye ko to kai. Ragu roti mo warani ngeta hangu jigi yo nanyor. Na jabal go ju. Na jabal go